Do you want to spend $200,000 to $220,000? That's a lot of money. Is it really worth starting school at a later start time? Now you're probably thinking to yourself, why would a teenager like me not want to go to school at a later time? Well, I did, until I put some logical thinking and research into it. Then I realized maybe there is a reason we start at the time we do. School should not start later because of parents' work schedules, transportation problems, and after-school activities such as clubs, sports, and work. One of the biggest concerns when starting school at a later time is parents' work schedules. If you start school at a later time, parents will still have to be at work at the same time. So this means they will not be able to see their children or be with their children in the morning. Parents will not be able to make sure their kids are awake. They also will not be able to make sure that they get on the bus safely, if they even get on the bus at all. Leanne Morgan says, when school starts at 7:30 in the morning, most parents can see their kids off to school before going to work. If school districts change their work start time to 8:30 or 9, parents will not be able to drive their kids to school and get to work on time. This means kids who cannot drive will have to start riding the bus, and this is a lot of kids because juniors and seniors are normally the only ones who can drive. So kindergarten through sophomores will have to start riding the buses. Imagine all those buses. With parents not being able to drive, their kids there's a need for more buses that comes up. When the need for more buses, you will also need fuel and bus drivers to drive them. And this is not cheap. A new full-size school bus costs anywhere from $200,000 to $220,000, according to a licensed insurance agent in 2022. If you remember the big number from the beginning, this is what I'm talking about. And that's just for one school bus. According to the dispatch, it costs anywhere from $490 to fill up an empty school bus. They also said it costs around $9,000 to fill up one school bus a year for the whole entire year. Wow, $9,000 worth of fuel? That's a lot. That's a lot of money. And now, since we have to add more buses, that's even more to spend on fuel. Now, you can't drive a school bus without a school driver. So, they're now having to find people to drive the school buses, but also pay them. For example, at my school, our bus drivers make $15.49 an hour. According to Mint Institution, the yearly average salary for a school bus driver in Kentucky is $24,000. According to Pros and Cons of Later School Times by Leanne Morgan, many school districts use the same buses for elementary school as they do high school. School districts will need to delay start times for elementary schools and push them back even later. Which leads me to my next point. Getting out later means getting home later. Being out later means your hobbies and sports will also be out later too. Sports team can get out from 9 to 11 depending on the drive to the place you're going at normal times. This being said, getting out of school later means you will get out home later. After school events will need to be pushed back to a later start time. Once the children get home at a late time, they will have to do homework, chores, showering, and many other things. This means they will still have little to no sleep before going to school the next morning. Everyone will still be moody and not ready to learn like usual. Everybody's brains never work in their first period class. They're always tired and want to go back to sleep. All these factors cause the same effects as if we started school at the same time. Now I know not everybody is agreeing with what I'm saying, so here's a pro to starting school at a later time. Leanne Morgan pros for going to school at a later time is fewer mood changes, and moody teenagers may not have depression or other physical disorders. Despite this, kids will still be moody and sleep deprived from getting home at a later time from sports and clubs. And even just going home straight after school, kids will still have to do chores. They might want to hang out with friends, play video games, or even stay up watching TV. In conclusion, why do you still want to start school at a later time? All these reasons, such as parents' work schedules, transportation problems, and after-school hobbies, prove why start time should stay the same. Just think, if you had an extra $200,000 plus you could spend on something better before you think about starting school at a later time. Thank you.